Alright, so you've probably seen the thumbnail. Regalia. So, why am I doing a deck profile of Regalia in Premium? Well, simple. It's actually quite a cheap deck that isn't too bad. I mean, it has its flaws, but you could probably pick this deck for like 30 bucks and do okay. If you were going to recommend someone to actually play a deck in Premium and they didn't have a lot of money, I'd recommend this, especially now. Alright, so Daylight Angel is your starter. Great starter. Draw a card, put one into the soul, two into drop. Now the drop may sound bad, but it combos really well with your grade 3s. So it's a really, really good starter. Like, even if we had the premium starters, or the standard starters, you'd probably still run this because it combos so with the grade 3s, and the new stuff's not going to be Regalia, so yeah, Daylight Angel is your starter. Okay, Angelica, 4 of course, she's your main grade 3, extremely good. Her first skill on place, put a normal unit into the soul, draw a card. Really good, especially if you're getting rushed, or if you're on grade 3, it works wonders. Always stick her at 4. Stride skill, counterblast 1, draw a card, look at the top 4, put a card in hand, soul, 2 and drop. Fuels the deck really well. And in this format, right now, with like all the rush and the stuff, premium garbage, it's actually really good because if you have to go first, even though you're at 11k base, you can actually survive an onslaught of attacks early, which is really important. Alright, controversial choice coming up. Verdandi or Verdandi, 2 of. Now, this card, I'd say is actually the reason why Regalia is actually still okay in Premium. Get this as soon as you can, it's probably cheap right now. Her stride skill is pretty good, but the main skill you're going for is her first skill, which is her act, which is basically you put 3 cards into the drop zone, and your front row gets on hit, look at the top 2 cards, put 1 in soul, 1 into hand. So why is this good? Well, in G it was okay. But in Premium, having a grade 3 that you can use on those 12Ks, like when your opponent doesn't care and they have like force and protect, being able to pull a full field out and then swing over and over again really puts on a lot of pressure, especially since a lot of your units will hit that magic number, which, like, you only need a 5k to nuke their hand. And it's really important in Regalia to make sure that their hand doesn't get too out of control, otherwise you're kind of screwed. So this gives you a rush option, especially if they grade stall you. So even though the 10k from the alternative is nice, the ability to rush is just, it can save your butt in so many matchups. And the stride skill is not as good because it doesn't draw you as much. Like, it's not the defensive, but on some times you can go into Earth and this will just kill them outright. Like, I'll get into that later. Okay, so we're only running 6 grades. Okay, go into the grade 2s, only 6 grade 3s. First off, we have Nell, or Ideas. This card is good for setting up numbers. Everyone probably knows this because it's pretty obvious in Regalia if anyone plays G-Format. But every time you Soul Blast it, you give a unit +3. Whoop-de-doo, right? Except that +3 on a 9 is 12, which hits magic numbers on things like... Well, it hits magic numbers on a lot of things in Premium. So, like, if they're 13, you can sort of math your way around it by going odd, even, odd, even, depending on what you boost with. I rarely use the skill that goes into Soul. You're actually better off just intercepting with it and then using your grade 3, this grade 3, to scoop it back into your Soul. And then you have a 5k guard, hence the rush. And you can rush with this card. So you commit to the board and then you get it back anyway. Because, like, going into Soul's nice, but you're in the 11k, but it rarely comes up. Like, you're better off just keep her on the field, intercept, put it back in, and then use it. Also, by the mid game, you're gonna have like 3 of them. That's +9 right there. Makes really stupid things happen when you go into your power plays. For Fraser, probably the best card in the deck. not GB restricted, draw 1, put 2 from your drop. That's 2 units, not normal units, so she's really good at taking triggers back, so if your drop zone is full of triggers, you can just suck them up with her. Draw a card. Soul. Once again, rush. She really rushes hard, and you can recycle her pretty easily with some other cards. Extremely good. Can't run Regalia without her. Okay, the weakest of the ones for Draghi. Okay. Draghi is the weakest option because she can hit numbers, but the funny thing about her is literally the best part of it isn't the +3 to 2 units, it's probably actually the putting 2 units into Soul. Because once again, if I'm not mistaken, unless I was cheating the whole time, she's up to 2 Regalia, not normal units. Trigger sucker. Good for triggers if you mill triggers with your starter or other effects, or guard with them. Alright, on to grade 1s. Jotun. Oh my god. Jotun is awesome. She is probably the only another great reason why this deck is actually okay in premium. Itchy Tom. You were gonna die without this. This thing saves you from Itchy Tom because it's so easy to recycle them. Save your PGs. I've had so many games where you literally just like holding it in hand and going, you will not make me remove these. I don't care if you hit me with double crit. I need these for the Tom combo. They need 2 Toms to stop you of this if you are free, for the most part, unless you get really unlucky, which is like boohoo. If you're unlucky on Itchy Tom, you're dead anyway. Okay. Weird choice that people hate. Free Bennu. 6k, terrible. On V or Rhea. Top 2, 1 and drop, 1 and soul. Okay, not the best. Usually you will guard with this first. It is your most expendable Mendo. But I think the thing that people miss is since it combos so well with the grade 3s and the grade 2s of sucking up, filtering is really good. And with Itchy Tom around, great option to get your PGs. You really need those PGs in your hand and he will get them for you. For Stride Fodder, although once again, since you will want to get specific cards into your drop zone, ironically this is like a Grand Blue deck in a way, drop these, consistent triggers, you can get away with a lot with this card. It's like, it's not as good as ZTB's Stride Fodder in the mechanics because that's stupid, but pretty nuts. For Expel Angel. This card is freaking amazing. Probably one of your best grade 1s behind the Stride Fodder for obvious reasons. Draw a card. You deck out in this deck a lot. This card will save your butt. Use it. Put it on the field early. Isn't the best option, and your opponent will usually try and get rid of it with their spin or retire effects. Player 4, if you can recycle stuff, a good thing to do is actually recycle it with herself into the deck. So it's 2 in the deck. Useful. On to triggers. All 5k. I know, right? It sucks. But when you got this crit, put into Soul when there's a face-up Regalia. Face-up Regalia, remember that. It's kind of trolly. Plus 3k can make stupid numbers, but it's really just filtering. It's just in case you draw into it, it does give you an option. Free draw, another controversial choice. Honestly, you need these. These came up way too much. You need to survive. Your draws will help you live. Even like in G format, you could get away with it. This format, even with all the options as well, I'd still run draws. It's so important. You just need to survive. Okay. Force stand. Okay, this is mostly because it's a budget option, but it's not as bad as people think, especially for like from a professional standpoint, because This withstands, on hit, attack again. You can kind of see where you're going. Oh, it's on hit. Swing, swing. Drive, check, stand. Stand up. Attack, on hit. Can push pretty hard, really early. It's not as bad as you think. One crit, because I have one crit. Weird numbers are always nice. So having 5 crit does some weird things. Especially when your opponent doesn't know what the hell is happening. 4 heals because... yeah. Heal triggers. G-Guard, counter charge, emergency soul charge. Yeah. Use your heals. Onto the strides. Now, stride zone is a little less controversial for some reasons. It's still a budget build. For Minerva. Probably your 99% stride. GB nothing. Flip a copy of herself for Soul Blast free. Quad drive 10k. Good beat, good pressure. Even though you can pull anything because you're playing rainbow triggers, you can sort of figure it out when your opponent's not paying attention. GB free, which is, since you can feel it, the first one's GB free, it's basically one face up in your G zone, you're ready to go. On attack discard, before you attack, you restand the field for Soul Blast 6. The entire field, all 4 units. So if we ever get Excel Circles in Minerva, this thing's going to be stupid. Restand your field. With stands, it sounds really stupid and it will hurt a lot when you get stands. Not the biggest deal when you got quad drive. You can sort of get away with it because you'll rush them early and then you'll sort of do this big beat stick to finish them off. 99% of the time, you're just going to do this. It is the bread and butter stride. Next stride. Next most important. If you can get this, probably cheap now. Earth. Alright. Earth is weird. Once again, a 1% stride in a way. Probably like 5% maybe. Sometimes you can just G-Guard once with a Regalia G-Guard. And then just kill your opponent after rushing them. Especially with Verdante, because like the numbers get pretty big. So even if your opponent's at 2 damage, if they have no PGs, just go straight into it and you'll kill them. Or come close to it, or put enough pressure so they can't recover properly. Yeah, you're not going to kill many people with Earth, but it is there, and your opponent's going to over-demand about this. Like, it's an option if your opponent screws up, but 99% of the time, it's literally just to force your opponent to play a specific way. That is Earth's greatest strength. Use it that way. Don't rely on it. Alright. On the day of a tournament I was playing, I played a little differently. 4 of the rare, which is named Muspel. Counter charge and draw. Rarely ever go into this. This is literally probably the card you go into when you don't have a big enough field for Minerva or a Soul, and you kind of want to save it a little one. Honestly, if you have a little more money or can get cards better than I can, GB8, maybe Ultima. Ultima doesn't really need to, like I've never gone to Ultima. GB8 can come up, and it's really good when it does. But this card alone is basically like an emergency exit, usually when you run out of Minervas, which can happen. It is a bit of a resource thing as well, like if you somehow brick, rarely happens. So yeah, it's really just the other 6 strides. If you can get those, that's whatever. Sabreeze, rarely ever even use this. Verdante with a rush turn with the grade 3 on hit is just better because you get more advantage and they're gonna guard. With stands, it can be rough. Get a lot of advantage and they can't rush you back. G-Zone. G-Guards. She is a Regalia. You can turbo into Earth immediately. And she hits 41 if you have different grades. Amazing card. Just probably literally required. You could run 4 of this and you'd be fine. 1% G-Guard. 10k if you have something on the field that's in the soul. Very, very, very rarely comes up. You're probably even better going into the other one because you get more Regalia space up. Never comes up, but can come up if you have the option. 1 Raktomi. Just filtering. It sometimes comes up, but really, it's... There's your G-Zone. Earth Minerva, rare. That'll do ya. You can win most of your games just by going into that. And you could probably fill it with Lamp. Alright. So, why does this deck work in Premium? Well, when we look at the best decks, we have a Rush deck, which can't get that much advantage, which is Spikes. Verdante says hi. Try and rush. Your resources will get bonked a little bit. I restand a lot. Have fun with Minerva. And if you ever have no PGs, you're dead. It's kind of fun. Gize, don't need Counterblast, really. Especially since you can rush pretty good. Still problems if they draw early, you're screwed anyway, but so is everything but Luard. Against normal OTT, well, you got your options there a bit. Like, you got your PG recycles, they're gonna save your butt against them. And against Kagero, good luck. Hopefully they don't have too many denials. And against things like, what else is in the meta that you need to deal with? Mega Colony, stand triggers, restand your field, pretty good. Got a lot of grade freeze options because you got 4 Stride Fodder, a lot of draw power. You should be okay. And yeah, deck's pretty good. If you noticed, I actually bought this deck except for the Earth because that was back in the day for like $30. Might be a little more expensive now, but if you're looking for a premium deck for like $50, I'd recommend this. It can win. I mean, I got top 4 in a tournament. It was very small, but I only lost to Gize, who drew a lot, and ZTV, which came down to the wire. So, yeah. Regalia. Verdante. Have fun.